So we're going to talk today about the artist mindset.
The artist mindset?
Yeah, the successful artist mindset, or at least what I think the successful artist mindset's supposed to be.
Let's do this!
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
Hola, you amazing artists. A question that I get often is, hey Rafi, how do I become an artist? How do I do what you do? How do I become artist full-time? And no matter what steps we've taken to be able to do this full-time, it's very personalized. Your own artist journey is your own thing. I do believe that there is a certain mindset that you could have that will help you on your own personal journey into becoming an artist. It's something that I've realized over the years that thinking a certain way actually helped me to make better decisions in my business. Instead of dwelling on things that I shouldn't have been dwelling on, it helped me to really focus my attention where it needed to be focused. So this is a list of 9 things that I was able to quantify so that I could put a list together for you guys of the successful artist mindset.
The successful artist mindset strategy.
Number 1, remove yourself from the competition. So pretty much growing up as a wanting to be an artist person who was doing everything other than his art but still wanted to be an artist, one of the main things that I did was compare myself to other artists that were out there, compare where I was as far as success was concerned with other artists that were already successful and had been doing this for years. In comparing myself or my work to anybody else that's out there, I ran the risk of really discouraging myself to moving forward. So I realized that the best thing to do if you are going to compare yourself is to compare yourself with you.
In other words, when it comes to comparison, you are the center of the universe.
Yes. Yes, you are. Number 2, be willing to make up your own rules. So obviously I have tips for artists videos here on YouTube, and a lot of people could take what I say and think that they are the words of God or rules. All the rules that are set out there for artists or for anything in life are set by people. People that have their own experiences, their own strategies. These are people that may have reached success in a very organic way, and you have to remember that it's your life. You get to decide what your rules are as far as what you want to do with life and what your art career is going to be. Number 3, do a reality check. One of the things that I am constantly taking a look at is reevaluating where I want to go and what it is that I have planned in my mind. Sometimes when you're planning for the future, you're not necessarily reaching for a solid, complete goal. Sometimes you're thinking about these airy-fairy ideas in your mind. It's kind of like back in the day when I wanted to be an artist and I thought that being an artist meant that I was going to live in a wine vineyard and that this was going to happen. And so like I had all these pictures in my mind of how it was that I was going to live as an artist, but in my mind there was no actual painting going on. There's no creation of art. There was just these like scenes from a movie. When I would tell people, hey, I'm going to be an artist, and they would ask me, really, so how are you going to make that happen? I had nothing in my mind that said like, okay, well, these are the steps that I'm going to take. So even now that I'm doing this as a career, there are certain things where I get these like airy-fairy ideas in my mind, and it's important to stop and say, okay, well, how am I going to do this? It doesn't mean that it's going to work out exactly the way that you think it's going to work out, but at least you give yourself a much more solid plan. It gives you the opportunity to reevaluate what your plan is and to make sure that it could be realistic to you, because it needs to be realistic to you in order for you to believe it.
Find a way to take those airy-fairy ideas and make them concrete.
Yes, make them concrete for you, not for anybody else, but for you. Number 4, think about where you started. One of the things that I like to do is think about the beginning, like where I started, how I started, and how humbling that is for me, because it's easy to get into this mindset of like, well, I'm a successful artist and I'm blah, blah, but like I started by selling my stuff at the flea market. That is definitely not beneath me, and that is something that I would recommend to somebody that is afraid of showing their art.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block.
Oh, God. Number 5, be willing to show your weaknesses. A lot of success gurus out there are like, fake it until you make it.
Never let them see you sweat.
Yeah, never let them see you sweat. Fact of the matter is that we're human. We make mistakes, and there are certain things that we have strengths and we have certain weaknesses. A lot of us spend a lot of time and energy trying to hide our weaknesses from people. Be willing to show that, especially in a creative field where there is so much rejection. You want to make sure that you quell the rejection in your own mind before you go out there and put your stuff out there. Number 6, celebrate your mistakes. Celebrate your successes, yes, but then celebrate your mistakes as well. When you make a mistake, it is a learning experience for you, and it is not this horrible failure that has gone on. We're all going to make mistakes, and in order to be able to move forward, take a look at the experience, you learn from it, and you move on. That's it. Number 7, add some color into your world. Pretty much what I mean by this is to remember to have fun. You are doing this because this is something that you've wanted to do. This is something that is within you, within your heart. And I know that for me, there came a point where like I was doing this and this is my serious career and this is important and you know, I'm an important person. I lost sight of why I was doing this in the first place. I was taking myself too seriously. And when you do that, it's almost like your world turns into a black and white world.
Yeah, don't turn your creative business into a total snooze fest.
Yes, don't do that. Number 8, break the jobs down. A lot of times us artists tend to want to take on these huge, ambitious projects, and we have no idea where to start. And then what happens is, want to get started, but you don't get started because it's overwhelming. What I learned is that if you break things down into small chunks, it's much easier to get started somewhere. And once you get started, then you could complete it, especially if you're moving from one small task to the next small task to the next small task. A lot of the projects that I've worked on, if I was looking at it as one big giant thing, they would have been super overwhelming for me. I would not have been able to even get started on it. So for example, with my art installation that I did, which was a huge room full of multiple pieces, I got started on just one task at a time. Once that part of the project was done, then I moved on to the next part of the project, and the next part of the project, and the next part of the project, until eventually the entire thing was done. And most importantly is number 9, be yourself. Be yourself. You are a creative, amazing individual that can do anything that you set your mind to. You want to be an artist? You are an artist. You don't have to be anyone else in order to be successful. Just be yourself. Do it your way. Find out what your path is or blaze your own trail. Whatever it is that you want to do, figure it out on your own terms. And remember to stay who you are, because who you are is amazing. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully you found this list helpful. This is my own idea of what it takes to be a successful artist, at least the mindset that you should have. If you guys have any questions for us, just leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are so freaking awesome. I totally adore you. And if you like this and you want to watch more like this, just click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Say goodbye, Clee.
Good day.
Adios.